Alright, hello people, and welcome to the 14th, I think it is now, build video of my 1:32 scale cardboard Titanic reception room and dining saloon sinking set. And today we are going to be, you guessed right, making more furniture. Today it's just gonna be kind of softer stuff like couches and armchairs and pillows. This is gonna be quite difficult to make actually, but I think I have got a rough idea of how I'm gonna do this, so let's go. Okay, so I have just thought of something. I have printed this out without legs, of course, because, well, that would be stupid. This was the first attempt. It has legs. The floor is kind of bad. And also, it's too small, so yeah, good night. But this is actually the correct size. And I have just thought of an important thing. That thing is that 3D printed things have a lower floating capacity than things made out of, or made partially out of foam, like the chairs in this thing are. And in real life, they of course also had better floating capacity because they were made entirely out of wood. And this is an armchair, of course, it's fairly heavy, and yeah. So I have decided to completely ignore my only use cardboard stuff or foam stuff or whatever rule and go with this for the armchairs and couches, because that will then create a more realistic floating out effect when the set is actually filled with water. So they will not like float at the very top but be a bit lower, so that the effect of the heaviness of the material gets kind of transferred into the model, if that makes sense. And I'm not just being lazy, I am trying to make this as realistic as possible. Please do not yell at me. Okay, I termed this a success. Look at this. This looks great. This looks as if it's one piece of paper wrapping all of it, but it's actually three, and looks surprisingly good. And I'll just have to do this for this entire pile. Here we go. Okay, so I think this looks, really, really good. In fact, I dare say that this looks a lot better than really, really good because, well, yeah, maybe the color is a bit off, but that's not really an issue because the flower pattern is the most important thing, and that is, really nice. So, I cannot wrap up this video here because I want it to be a bit longer than that. And now that we are finished with all of the furniture, I think it is about time to, install it all. Just straight up now, because I want to. Let us do that. Okay, so now that this is pretty much completely furnished, first of all, it looks a lot more completed than it did just like 2 hours ago. And there are also only a few tiny little pieces missing until we can then move on to the roof and to the dining saloon part of this project. So, first of all, we're going to need, I think it was 22 pillows that are placed around the reception room on sofas and on these kind of wooden wicker-esque things. And also the piano with stuff belonging to it, like a wooden crate standing here, for instance. So, I will now place all of that in this room, like, make it first and then place it in the room. And then we are going to look if we can even start making the roof in this video. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing, but maybe. And then we're gonna have a really big amount of progress in one video, and that has not happened for a while. Alrighty, let us continue. I'll also just add a tiny postscript here and tell you guys that the pillows are also going to be 3D printed because of the same reason which I used to justify printing the sofas and the armchairs, because well, they also have kind of they're kind of heavy and have low buoyancy, and their floating characteristics are more going to be in line with them being 3D printed. So again, it's a realism thing. Moving on. Okay, so believe it or not, it took me an entire day to build all of this. I was longing to 3D print this, or at least the lower portion, but I decided to stay within the spirit of this project because well, this piano has more of a floating capacity that coincides with the foam which it is made out of. So yeah, just to prove that I'm doing this printing stuff for realism's sake and not just to make my life easier, though it also does make my life a lot easier. Okay, so I think we will leave it at that for this video. We have finally made some tangible, visible amount of progress. And, yeah, that is good. That has not happened for a while. In the next video, I think we are going to start, building roof panels. I don't know how long they're gonna be. I think, I might have to divide them because, well, that would be kinda long for one panel, and especially like this. To lift that out to get a camera in to record, it's gonna be difficult, especially with this little piece. I'll have to divide them probably. I don't know. I might also employ magnets. No clue. Before ending this video though, also today is the 1-year anniversary of the sinking of the main ship's model. 27th of August, 24 was that interesting day. It's difficult to say happy day because, well, it was technically not a happy day. But for me it was because it was a huge relief that all worked. So, thanks for watching and good night.